Actually really quite pleased with it because, I actually expected the men to be rated 5th and the women to be rated 7th in the coaches poll, but speaks a fair amount for the reputation of the program. Graduating 6 out of 7 guys from last year's national team will leave a hole in pretty much any program, but we have a promising young recruiting class and a strong returner in Cody Schreiber. We're going to redshirt Nick Mask, who was our other returner from last year, but to be setting that high is actually a little bit of a surprise, but it's also quite pleasing. On the ladies' side, a very good recruiting class. I mean, time will tell just how good it is, but it's got to be among the top 3 freshman classes of women's recruits we've ever had. So we had a tremendous class in '97 and another one in 2009. But we'll find out over the next 4 or so years which ones were the best. Not so much because we graduated all of those guys. If we had a high percentage of them back, yes, very much so. So I guarantee you that Southern had a target on their back, and we were aiming for them last year and just came up a little short at the end of the season. But there are some teams that'll be trying to get us, especially since we did graduate quite a few guys. Some of the teams that have been behind us will be trying to get us and or leapfrog us and stay ahead. And in that respect, there's a little bit of a target, but part of the reason this conference got so good is because we did give them a target on our back. We had 11 straight conference titles between '93 and whatever that is, 2004. And that does put a target on your back. So in that respect, there's always a little bit of a target on the back. But that's fun. That's part of what makes it fun, is that this conference is brutal and everybody has a little bit of a target on their back. We actually, the way it ended up being, we'll redshirt 2 of our top returners, and we actually end up with a little smaller group of returners competing this year than what I planned, but it does give us some strength and gives us some leadership. We have some significant returners, and it helps build the platform for the future along with that excellent freshman recruiting class. So, and right now, several of the returners came back, and I'm actually very pleased with the returning group, on how well they came back prepared and their level of focus and commitment. And I think that'll make it a lot easier for the freshmen to make the transition. Well, Cody Schreiber, he's been to nationals 3 straight years as part of teams, but also done really quite well. Each year he gets a little bit better at the national meet. He was mid-70s as a freshman, which was a tremendous run for a freshman. Mid-40s as a sophomore, and low 30s, just missing All-American last year. So, and then with the newcomers, Jack Howard out of Portland he put up some very strong marks in high school. Lane Inwards out of Rocky Mountain over in the Boise area is been kind of gradually recovering from some injuries in high school, and had a great spring and showed a little bit more of his promise. And then we have several transfers that if we can get them healthy and keep them healthy, and Andrew Duffy and Dylan Hartley from Kendry, that those guys are coming in injuries, so they're not real fit yet. But if we can get this group of guys fit, we should be pretty solid. And then you just kind of always hope for some surprises. Mackenzie Evans, being a national qualifier last year, and as an individual, will redshirt our number 2 and 3 from last year in Rachel Rowley and Haley Hollingsworth. Otherwise, they would be in that group. Somebody who may surprise some people with her level of improvement is Mimi Crosser-Laird. She's, made huge strides last year, and it'll be exciting to see what she does this year. Kaylee Wilson is our lone senior, so she seems poised to have a stronger season and be a contributor. But then we have that freshman class. That's, with Amanda Welch from here in LeGrand, Caitlin Rowe out of South Albany High School. Emily Wren is out of Lewiston, Idaho, and has run 1 season across. And her
PR and her personal record in cross ranks right up there with any of the other freshmen in just one season. So she's a little bit of an unknown. Stormy Bullard out of Union was kind of one of their solid contributors all the way through high school and was one of their top gals last year on their state championship team, but has never really trained year-round because she wasn't a distance runner on the track. So she's put in a great summer of training, and it'll be interesting to see. So there's several other freshmen in there, Bernice Chavez out of Umatilla. All of these gals, with the exception of Stormy, none of them have really ever had anybody to train and race with on their team. And Stormy has, but she wasn't involved in that distance group as often. So all of them have what I consider a lot of raw potential, in part because they've never really been part of a bigger entity, a bigger group that to have to train with. I did a lot of their training on their own, and that should help all of them improve quite a bit. So if you go strictly off of times, our top three coming in are Amanda, Caitlin, and Emily. But anything can happen when you get a good group together, and this group has shown signs of working real well together. Well, always we want to be at the national meet. How much of a stretch that is this year, some years it's pretty much a shoe-in, some years it's a stretch, remains to be seen. There are a lot of questions with the guys, the freshman guys, and anybody that's new to the program. You never quite know how they're going to adapt to 8,000 meters versus the 5,000 meters they run in high school. I would say that in a few years our men's team will be much, much better than they are this year, and we're not bad. We're receiving votes in the poll, and the goal is to finish in that top 4 at the conference meet, but no worse than 5. On the ladies' side, we're 8th the last 2 years, and pull Concordia out of that puts us at 7 on the returners. And obviously we want to do better than that. But we'd definitely like to try and at least get some individuals to the national meet, if not a team or two. So as young as the women are and as deep as this conference is, there are 4 teams ranked in the top 14 nationally in the conference. So that'll be a tough group to break into, and we may just be a little young to do that. But we at least want to get close to those teams and try and get the other 2 teams in between us and them. But at least get an individual or 2 there. And same with the guys, if we can get up in there, in the actual national rankings, they're 5th behind Southern, College of Idaho, Oregon Tech, and Northwest Christian. If we can get up there and get one of those teams, we'll see what happens. But it's definitely going to be one of those years where it's a work in progress the entire season, and I've just been telling everybody, be patient, and let's see how much damage we can do in November and take at least a few individuals to Charlotte.